Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about an important aspect of Aristotle's theory of tragedy as explained in his iconic text on literary criticism, Poetics. That interesting aspect of tragedy deals with the function of tragedy or the purpose of tragedy. In my previous videos, I have discussed in detail about the formative elements of a tragedy like plot, character, thought, diction, and spectacle. How these elements are framed or patterned in a tragedy to achieve certain effect. That was the concern of our previous discussions. Today we are to talk about that whether the framing or the pattern of these elements is successful in achieving certain aim. So before talking about the success of that very pattern of 6 elements, let's know what is the aim, what is the function of tragedy as discussed by Aristotle in his theory of tragedy, and in Poetics this function of tragedy is named as catharsis of feelings of pity and fear. So today we are going to discuss in detail about all these things. Let's begin. Students, there are a lot of analytical views, theories, sub-theories regarding Aristotle's views as given in his Poetics, but this term catharsis is considered one of the controversial terms. Why is it so? Actually, this term catharsis appears only once in the course of Aristotle's Poetics, where he has discussed the definition of tragedy. In my video on the theory of tragedy or the elements of tragedy, I have referred to the definition of tragedy in detail. So in the last part of the definition of tragedy, Aristotle talks about, or he has referred to this term catharsis. And there is hardly any other single term which has given rise to so many different interpretations and controversies. Actually, the difficulty arises out of the fact that Aristotle does not define or explain the term. It is also believed, or the critics believe, that he did so in the second book of the Poetics, and which is lost. So the term has been explained by critics in the light of its use in Aristotle's other works, such as his Politics or Ethics. But one thing is clear, and all the schools of criticism just accept it, that this term appears in Poetics with reference to the function of tragedy, and that function is tragic pleasure. And secondly, this term appears as a sort of emotional appeal of a tragedy, because in the definition of tragedy, Aristotle talks about the feelings of pity and fear. He talks about the catharsis of feelings of pity and fear. So this catharsis deals with an emotional appeal of a tragedy. Whenever there is any discussion about the emotional appeal of a tragedy, the feelings of pity and fear are considered central to that very discussion. For example, whenever we go for a movie or we watch a play, or we come across any incident in our life that has some tragic element in it, we feel pity for the person concerned, for the character concerned, and at the same time we have the feeling of fear also, of some impending danger that the same can happen with us also. So in this way, pity and fear, these two feelings are central to a tragedy, and both these feelings are closely related with each other. Pity turns to fear when the object or the character is so nearly related to us that the suffering seems to be our own, and we pity others in adverse circumstances in which we should fear for ourselves. So, in this way, pity is derived from the feeling that some similar suffering might befall us. And it is because of this fact that the tragic character or the protagonist of a tragedy should be like ourselves and at the same time slightly idolized. So, in such a case, we feel pity for the suffering of the innately good person while having a sympathetic fear for one who is so like ourselves. So, according to Aristotle, that pity and fear are the characteristic and necessary tragic emotions. So, the essential tragic effect depends on maintaining the intimate alliance between pity and fear. All schools of critics, they agree that no doubt tragedy arouses pity and fear. So, where is the problem? Where is the controversy? The controversy is regarding the catharsis of these emotions. And catharsis appears as a process as a way which leads to the tragic effect. So, the question which is to explore in terms of the theory of catharsis is that how a tragedy arouses pity and fear. It's okay. Through the portrayal of the downfall of a good character or the very tragic end of a good fellow, it arouses these feelings. But how this arousal of pity and fear lead to tragic pleasure? That is the question. That is the way, that is the process, that is the act of catharsis which leads this arousal to the tragic pleasure. The catharsis, the term catharsis, if we go look into the literal meaning of the term, it has three meanings. One is purgation, purification, and clarification. And if we try to analyze or attempt to explain this catharsis with reference to Aristotle's concept of tragic pleasure, we can say that he is talking about the purgation of pity and fear, he is talking about the purification of pity and fear, he is talking about the clarification of pity and fear. That is the function of tragedy. And this function of tragedy is very important to Aristotle's theory of tragedy because he believes that this is the function of tragedy which makes all arts useful for the betterment of society. So this term catharsis just gains importance out here. Now, first we will talk about the purgation theory of catharsis. That is to say that the critics who believe in the meaning or interpretation of catharsis as purgation. These critics, they have interpreted the term catharsis in medical terms. Medical terms, it means purgation. So, especially in the older sense, purgation means the partial removal of the excess humors. Actually, the health of the body depends upon a true balance of the humor. Means the particular elements or the which are essential for a healthy body, there should be in a balance. If there is an excess of any particular element, then it will just make one unhealthy. So, catharsis means something to maintain a balanced state of humors. And the critics who talk about catharsis in medical terms, they say that when we talk about a tragedy, this purgation of emotions of pity and fear does not mean the removal of these emotions, but the passions or the emotions are reduced to a healthy, balanced proportion. So catharsis in this sense denotes a pathological effect on human soul, on human mind. And the critics who talk about the pathological effect of catharsis, Some of them they talk about in terms of homeopathy, and some talk about in terms of allopathy. The critics who favor the medical sense of the term catharsis explain the process in the light of homeopathic treatment, in which little substance of something cures the body of an excess of the same thing. It is a case of like curing the like. There is a passage in Aristotle's book Politics which bears this out, that the effect of music on some morbid state of mind is noteworthy. So the point is that the emotions should not be repressed. They must be allowed an outlet. So the mental equilibrium is maintained. That is the point. And the critics in the new classical period, I would like to say, the medieval interpretation of the term took an allopathic light. Catharsis was seen to be in the nature of unlike curing the unlike. The arousing of pity and fear, the more tender emotions, brought about a purgation of other emotions like anger and pride. The sight of the incidents aroused pity and fear, and spectator is purged of those emotions which caused the incidents of suffering in the tragedy. If the suffering in the play was caused by anger or pride, the spectator was cured of these emotions. Some critics talk about pathological effect, and there is a school of critics who just look at the term catharsis in terms of psychology, and they have tried to give a psychological explanation. There is one eminent critic, Herbert Reed. He considered catharsis in the light of a safety valve. He says that tragedy gives a free outlet to the emotions of pity and fear. The result is a feeling of emotional relief. The other school of critics who just give an ethical interpretation to catharsis, they regard catharsis as the tragic process, as illustration of the soul, a lighting up which results in a more philosophical attitude to life and suffering. Here the point is that the spectator sees the largeness of the disaster or the tragic end of a noble fellow as represented on the stage, and he realizes that his personal emotions are insignificant beside such catastrophe, but beside such disaster. It brings him to a balanced view of things. The point is that the man sees himself in proportion to the large design of the universe. So, in this way, the critics talk about the ethical interpretation of catharsis in terms of purgation. And in our next videos, we'll try to understand catharsis in terms of purification and clarification. Thank you.